Hello, everyone, and welcome to class. We have another fabulous class using the Sassy 60s Sam's Bead Box, our Bead Box for April. And I am joined by the wonderful Beki Foster to help me out today. Hey, Becky, how's it going?
Hi.
Hello.
I'm ready to get sassy.
Yes.
Got the hair.
Yeah. You guys look at her hair. Isn't that like the best? You got the retro and you got the pink. It is fabulous. Oh, it's great. What do you think of like this vibe of these? Lots of bright colors, florals, geometry, all of it.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Nice.
I had a lot of fun just like getting myself in the mindset today. Be like teasing the hair, getting it piled up.
It is fabulous. Look at Becky's hair. Are you guys like getting thrown back in time right now? Isn't it incredible? You said you had to like back comb it, like tease it and get it up there.
Yes. It's like I was telling you earlier, it's 60% hair and like 40% bobby pins.
Amazing. A lot of work goes into that. Well, yes. Hopefully our jewelry class will be a little easier. We have a necklace design to show us. We're going to learn a really cool new technique for using donuts, and we're just going to play around. So if folks already have the Sassy 60s box, bring it out so you can make along with us, or you can check out the link in the description to purchase one for yourself. So yeah, could you tell us a little bit about this project? Where are we heading?
Right. So I've done similar projects before. It's going to be a little bit different though, because I'm throwing a pipe chain.
Ooh.
But basically, I like wrapping donut stones with smaller beads using beading wire instead of using craft wire or something like that.
Yeah.
And choosing a colored craft wire makes it part of the design experience. So that's why I went with pink for this one.
Nice.
But then, you can do other things with it, like, halfway through there, add another little dangle.
Can you hold that up a little bit? That is so elegant. That is cool.
Right? And that's another place where like the color of the wire went with part of the design.
Oh, cool.
So
okay, yeah.
We're going to be doing that with the Suddenly donut.
Mm-hmm.
The one that looks exactly like a butterscotch lifesaver.
It does. Do not eat it, but yes. And we have more of them. We have more of them in the shop. So if you need a few more donuts to make this design today, you can get that.
And so around the edges, I wanted these beautiful Amazonite beads. Yeah. They're the faceted ones.
Yeah, we have those little faceted bells in the box.
Exactly. This is going to be part of the design. It's going to be up at the top above where I crimp it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to bring in a little bit more of that pink. This pipe chain is this light baby blue color with the gold on the outside. I think pretty. You guys have this.
Yeah, we've had that one. Maybe we still do. I'm not sure. Yeah,
I thought I saw it on the list.
Cool. So definitely had it. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful combos.
Right. So it's just going to be a short amount that we're going to need with it. But I'm going to do some little scallops with my wire. Ooh. And then the back of it and the sides are going to be some beaded chain. Cool. And so for the beaded chain, I'm using these little pink squares, and you need 8 of those. And then you'll need 10 each of the blue and yellow flowers.
Fabulous.
And I've also got these crystal and pink drips we're going to be using for it. And that's all the beads, I think.
Okay.
Also going to be using some little pipe chain covers. These are the silk ones. You guys also have some on your site that would work. But I'll be demonstrating how to make a simple loop when we get to the chain part. I've already made several links, so I'm not going to do all of them with you, but I'll show you 2 different ways of doing the simple loops. So we can do that. And the tools that I'm going to be using, flush cutters, round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, and because it's my favorite way of crimping, magical crimpers, but you can use any crimping style that you use. whoop, let me put this back over there. Because I'm using the magical crimpers, I've got some 2x2 crimp tubes that I'm going to be using. These are soft flex ones. And then the wire for the links, it's just 20 gauge wire.
Fabulous.
All right. I'm going to move some of this out of the way.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good. Oh. I just love that we're going to learn a bunch of different little techniques here, how to incorporate some silver silk pipe chain. I mean, how to do this weaving with beading wire right now. It's just a magic trick to me. It's an illusion. So I'm very curious to see how it comes together.
It'll be fairly easy. Like once you get started, you could just repeat it all the way around, and it's pretty easy. It is a little bit wire intensive. You'll need about maybe 60 inches of wire.
Okay.
Something like that. I'm going to pull off a wingspan to start with. Actually, just a little bit more than wingspan. I'm holding one end here.
Yeah.
This end here. And just stretching my arms.
It's the best way to measure. Like, especially something that long. Like, I don't have a rule. I don't want to find a tape measure.
It's fine. That works. I know I've got about a 5-foot wingspan.
Yes.
So
I've always heard that your wingspan is about the size of your height. So if you know how tall you are, then that's probably
5'4".
Yeah.
So that works.
Unless you're like a basketball player, then I think they have like crazy long arms.
Right. And if you start with like just a little bit hanging out over to the stop, or over the top, because I can actually speak. You can, when you bring the other end together, you can add more wire then too with the crimping. Okay. So it's possible to do the rest of it by adding more.
Oh, cool. So it's okay if you do cut it a little short, your wire.
Yeah. Okay. It's totally fine. Great. But you're going to want a bit for going around, because it'll actually depend too on the size of your donut. So for this larger donut, it will need a little bit more than a smaller donut will.
That makes sense.
So where am I? Let's free some of these beads.
Let's do it.
Okay. I forgot that I needed my beads free. All right, so the start of it. All right. I went up through the middle, and I'm just holding on to this here. You could also, as you get going, put a little bead stopper on it to hold it. But just to get started, I'm holding the donut, holding this, and I have this wire going this way around it. So it's crossing the front of the wire. And then I'm going to pick up a bead.
Oh, yeah. Don't feel like that's the thing I'd forget to do.
So I've got my bead on this wire, and I'm just going to scooch it right there. And then go through the middle of the donut with my wire. And I've got this little loop here, this whole area, this bit. I'm going to put the wire through it and pull it.
Wow.
All right. And then I'm going to do, yes, exactly, Brett, blanket stitch. That's it exactly.
That's the kind of knot and stitch we're doing?
Yep.
Cool. Good to know.
So I get another little bead on there. Scooch it next to the first. Go through the back towards the front. And then push that end through. And it'll get a little bit easier the further around you go. There's a lot of wire right now to kind of wrangle. And I don't want to pinch this anymore. So I'm just going to pop this on here. It shouldn't come loose, but just in case.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this until I cut all the way around to meet this wire.
Okay. But this, maybe if you could do a couple more in this slow motion way, I think it's helpful.
Right, so we've got our bead. And I'm just moving it down the wire. Again, it's a lot of wire.
That is a lot to bring it down.
It really is. But now that I've got it there, we're going to go from back to front through the hole. And it's curling on itself. There we go. I'll make sure my bead is next to that so I'm not getting it stuck behind. I want it around the edge. All right. I'll do a couple more.
Cool.
I'm actually going to move that out of the way because my wire is getting caught on the handle.
Yeah.
I always forget to move things.
Oh, this is great to see. Okay, yeah. So it's the same process. Just that basically kind of knotting it around each time.
Yep.
So yeah, if you don't like how your first couple look, you could just take out some at the beginning and like you're gonna just feel better at it as you go.
Exactly. And you can, tighten it up or you can shift these around. They've got that ability. You can be like, I don't want that many or something.
Yeah.
You can make it more crowded or leave more space.
Got it.
Or if you run out of your small beads, you can adjust them around so that it gets more evenly around there.
Wow.
I've
never seen anything like this before. It is very cool. And I really love your idea of playing with color. Like, okay, there's the color of your donut, and then it's like what color wire and what color of the small beads. Like, you really get to be creative. And in this one, I see you try to like capture like kind of the 3 main colors of our bead box. And then you're going to continue those colors the rest of the necklace. So I love that idea. Like have a bunch of colors in the focal so that you can use them throughout the whole piece.
Exactly. And I mean, that's one of the reasons I like the colored beading wire because you can use it as a design element.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely meant to be used for this. So if folks have been stocking up on their soft flex wire, they have so many beautiful colors of their beading wire. We have a bunch of them in the shop. We've done trios every month. So folks will definitely have to check out some of those different colors, come up with their own combo.
Kelly just mentioned that she did this on her channel.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
That's really cool, Kelly.
Oh, she said she did it with wire.
Oh, very yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, you don't have to just use beading wire for this. I like beading wire because it comes these fun colors.
Yeah. It also just feels very flexible, right? That feels just easier on the hand.
When you use craft wire or something for it, you have to be a little more careful than I'm being to not kink it.
Yeah, that's easy to do.
Like for this, I'm just swinging the wire around.
Yeah, you do not have to worry about it. Because often when you're using craft wire, you have to be so careful when you're pulling things through because it's so easy that you just get these like right angles, all these bends in the wire, and it's just a mess. But this it glides. Yeah, it might twist on itself a little, but that's a little easier to undo than like a kink in like a true craft wire.
Kink it. And I mean, you could probably do this with other 49 strand wires. Like Eidolon has a good flexible one as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they come in the fun colors.
No, theirs are more like the classics, of the metallics for sure. Which this would be, I mean, beautiful with a metallic as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely would be, especially like some gold wire around that.
Yeah. That would be very elegant. Yeah, I mean, the donut gives you all this surface area, and so you might as well use it.
Exactly. It's a lot of fun to do. So this will probably take a little while.
Okay. Well, we were chatting
this
a little bit before we came on the live. I was kind of asking you about some of your connection to 60s fashion, and it sounds like your mom was a fashion queen, honestly, like, and so creative. Tell us a little bit about like what her fashion was like, how she did her hair in the 60s. We'd love to know.
Well, my mom taught me how to do a bead hive. That's where I learned this.
Amazing.
The back combing and the getting things all tucked up and pinned up. But one of the things my mom did in the 60s was she worked as a switchboard operator at the college that she was at. And she would wear her hair like a different wig almost all the time. She's in my chat right now, actually.
Hello, Beki's mom.
Hi, Mom.
So every day was a different wig, like a totally different look.
Totally different look. I don't think anyone she worked with knew what her actual hair looked like.
Yeah, that's a secret. That is so cool. That is fun.
Yeah, she is. She's confirming everything that I just said.
Oh, good.
But she also, like, as far as fashion goes, my grandma and my mom would have they made their own clothes. And so she was always paying attention to what was stylish, and then she'd make it.
Yeah.
Mini skirts.
That's okay. I think I see where you get your creativity from. Seems like it's in the family.
Yeah. I come from a long line of makers. People who cannot sit still.
Yeah.
Without doing something with their hands.
I love that. So growing up, like, did you just do lots of craft projects, making projects, like, with your family?
Kind of. My mom had a lot of side hustles because she had 4 kids. She had 4 kids to raise, and taking in some piecework sewing and doing things like that. She would put us to work.
Oh, nice.
So, if we were sitting there watching TV, we could be, turning scrunchies inside out or something like that, so she could sew them together.
Amazing.
So yeah, and it's one of those things that she taught me how to sew like real early. Right. It might have felt like 6 sometimes. That's my sister. But so we would be busy with our hands, learning how to do things. But also she taught me how to sew really early.
Was that on a machine or by hand? What do you remember?
I think I was 6 years old when I got my first sewing machine.
Oh my god.
It was a little Barbie sewing machine.
Oh my god. Was it like bright pink?
It was. And it wasn't super powerful, but you could sew some things on it.
I think I had one of those as a kid too. One of those kind of like, just like those child-friendly ones that are just not too sharp probably, but like, so, oh yeah.
Yeah, so my, what was I saying?
About making things.
I already knew how to sew. So when I got to like middle school and you had to choose between home ec or like wood shop, I was like, well, I already know that stuff. I'm going to go learn how to do wood shop stuff.
Nice. Love that. So now you can do it all. Anything.
She taught us cross stitch, embroidery stuff, just all sorts of things. And I used to actually make some of my own clothes in high school. I would go visit my grandma and raid her fabric stash and just make things without patterns.
Yeah. I love that. You have just been making and being creative forever. That's incredible. I love it.
I just want to point out that here, this part, where it's about exactly halfway down from this end, this would be the part where instead of putting a bead, if you wanted to do a design that had an extra dangle, that's where you would put that in.
Oh, so you just didn't even put a bead. You just hooked on your
put the thing. Yeah.
You just hooked
put
on your
dangle on there.
Cool.
Yeah, it makes it pretty easy to add that little extra thing.
Yeah.
If you're already going around.
Nice. And I guess if you are undecided on what it should be, you could always just add a jump ring there. And that way, because sometimes it's hard to be decisive and actually decide what to put there, but just instead of a bead, add a jump ring and then hook anything later.
Leave it off.
Just leave it empty.
It would leave a little curve just like this.
Oh, okay.
And you can put a jump ring in later.
Nice. Because for me at the end, I wouldn't want to you could it probably would be very secure to put something on that's wire wrapped loop, super secure. But that would mean I'd have to know exactly what I want. I would want to be able to wait till the end and try on a few different options.
Make some choices.
Exactly. Oh, is that your mom is chatting?
That's my mom.
You can add a groovy touch.
It's super groovy. Yeah.
For sure.
My mom actually whenever I would ask about 60s fashion or 70s fashion, she was a fount of information. She would help me when we had school dress up days.
Yeah.
She would do things pull things out of her closet for me if I wanted to dress like a beatnik.
Yeah.
Or
she had it. She'd done it already.
Right? Exactly.
That's awesome.
It's pretty funny.
And we had someone ask where we ship our Bead Box, and we ship worldwide. So wherever you are welcome to subscribe. Maybe there's a few places we're not able to ship, but we ship all over. So we definitely welcome you to get subscribed, to sign up. Our website is samsbeadbox.com, and we do have coupon codes mentioned in the description if you want to. Yeah, since if it's your first box, you should take advantage of the $5 off code. Yeah. Have you ever, and I don't know, is it possible to not go all the way around on this design, or do you kind of need to link up the wire? I mean, I guess
you could probably
necklace.
You could probably get away with ending it right here,
and
have it kind of hang out below there.
Yeah, it might.
I guess one strand go this way and one strand go that way.
Yeah,
that would be possible.
I mean, it already looks so cool. Yeah, okay. I'm curious.
I could totally do that.
Yeah,
should I
just have to leave it longer?
Change my mind?
No. Let's go for it. I want to see the original idea. You have a fabulous vision. I want to see it.
Yeah, I have an idea in my head. We're gonna make it happen.
No, I want to see it. You're gonna have the pink melon. I want to see how this all works.
Yeah, we're about 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah. Also, I did just your thinking of your mom being in college and working in the switchboards. That definitely has not been a part of how I grew up. I never thought about switchboards, but yeah, someone had to be. That was a job that needed to exist for people to call each other.
Absolutely.
If
you think about jobs that don't exist anymore.
Yep. There's so many.
That's one of them. I'm actually taking this off.
Okay.
And I can pull it tighter a little bit later. But I just want to get that out of the way because it's going to start catching on it. Oh, Stephanie was saying that Neely did something like this and it didn't go all the way around.
Cool. Okay. You folks can check out Neely's channel. That's over on the Silver Silk and More YouTube channel if you want to see another. Yep. You might have another way to do this. Cool.
That would be really cool. I'll just check that out. Oh, wait, I think I know which one that was.
Oh, yeah? You remember?
I actually have the kit.
Nice.
I don't think I actually put it together.
Fair. It happens.
But there's another stopping point there.
Yeah.
That might look really cool.
It's so pretty. I love all these colors.
I love how it's going together.
It's kind of like the rays of the sun. I feel like you could have it mimic something, or you can be like, no, this is just like sprinkles on a donut. Like this is truly a donut.
Sprinkles with the pink.
Yeah. It's the glaze, the frosting. I'm just trying to make everyone hungry. That's my goal right now.
Oh man. This is like a little frosted donut, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. Like, when
you got like the golden donut.
Yeah, they'll make it like they do. I mean, some of those places just get so creative with their decorations.
Right. I like the way that the wire, as it gets closer to the middle, the wire comes closer together, so it's pinker in the middle and then a little less on the way up.
And I also just love how there's this like slight curve to each wire that's just natural to this knotting style. Like it's not just going straight out. I love that movement.
Yes.
That's great. And I think we've heard, like, it's amazing that like there's these techniques in jewelry making, a type of stitch, a type of knot, but everyone gets to interpret these techniques and do them in different ways, change the material, change the colors. Like we're all like adapting and remixing and, finding our own way to do it. And I think that's really cool.
I like it too. I like being able to be inspired by other folks. And I love when folks take something that I've made and they use it as inspiration.
Mm-hmm. I know.
It makes my day.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we love to teach, right? Yeah. Right? If folks haven't checked out Beki's channel, please do subscribe. Or if you're over on Beki's channel, you can subscribe to us over here on the Sam's Bead Shop YouTube channel, because both of us have like a huge catalog of classes. So much inspiration. So I hope you'll stick around.
Classes.
I know. You're putting stuff out every week, sometimes multiple a week. It's amazing.
I try. Sometimes I don't do as much as I want to.
Well, it's impressive. I will tell you that.
Thank you. All right, so we're getting close to the end. And this is the part where if you wanted to use fewer beads or more beads, you could start moving these around, closing this up.
When I look at that,
I'm like, wait, put one more.
Okay, because when I look at that, I'm like, do I need 2 more beads? Do I need 1 more bead? But you're saying just kind of fudge it around.
Yeah, you can fudge it around, and that's one of the nice things about having like a flexible wire or something that you're using.
Mm-hmm.
You can just
get a little, yeah, exactly, a little snazzy dance there,
right? Where am I going? I had to find the hole.
Yeah.
All right. See, that's one more, and it brings that closed. But I need to bring this wire through the middle.
So wait, which wire? Oh, the long one. Okay.
The one I'm working with. Yep. I'm going to leave that wire alone. And here's the part. It's going to get a little bit funky. Is see how there's that little bit here where this wire is?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go through that one and through this loop in the back right here.
Okay, and that's the one we normally go to, yeah.
That's the one you'd normally go to, but I want to go through this one. Oop, and scooch that wire over here. So I've got the first one that I started with. And I've got this one here.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and now I'm just going to crimp those together.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab one of my crimps.
And this is just a regular 2x2, size 2?
It's a regular 2x2 crimp tube.
Nice.
And I'm going to slide it over both ends. Make sure that this is spaced where I want it to be. And if I'm happy with that, I'm going to grab my crimper And I'll do this a little bit closer so y'all can see.
And we're not making a loop at this point, right?
Nope, I'm just crimping these two together.
Cool.
It's just going to make my little focal.
Yeah.
And I haven't put my little melon bead on yet. It's going to go on top of that.
Okay.
But if you haven't seen Magical Crimper, for those in our audience, you've got this little groove here, and you're going to center your 2x2 crimp tube. Make sure it's centered before you squeeze it. And give it a little squeeze. And it crimps just the corners of this, makes a little ravioli. And then if you shift it to a different angle, you want a right angle or 90 degrees. And then give it another squish. And go at several different angles. Not angers. And just go around. It smooths out those little corners, and you're left with just a nice little ball of crimp.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yes, they are made to be used with 2x2 crimp tubes. All right, now I don't need all of this for what's left, but I do want to add more wire. So before I go on, I'm just going to cut this in half and use the other wire for the rest of it. But I'm also going to add my melon bead here, because that's going to sit between this one here. I'm going to cut off that short bit. And my next crimp, where I'm going to add more wire.
Okay.
So that I've got
two different pieces there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And with the other designs that I've done before, I just went ahead and strung up those pieces of wire.
Yeah.
To continue my necklace. And this is a good way of getting that on there. So I'm just going to crimp it in exactly the same way that I did before. Just to add.
For some reason, it's just wild to me that we're not actually, we're not using crimps to make a loop, but we don't need to for this.
Yeah.
Not at all.
We will be making loops later.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah. But for the center part, you don't, I mean, the version you just showed us, you just strung right on it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to just see if I can fit 2 strands through the donut. Nope. That's fine. All right.
Make the ravioli.
And then turn it into a meatball.
Oh, that's great. The golden one.
Golden meatball. People always ask, is it a very secure crimp? Mm-hmm. It absolutely is. Yeah. It's my tug test.
Nice.
All right, and I've got this little bit of wire here from where I added it. So I need to snip it. Why is it not snipping? You know what? I'll clean that up later.
No problem.
I have some micro flush cutters.
Yeah.
That can get in closer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is the part where I'm going to add in the pipe chain.
Cool. And for folks watching live, what do you think of this so far? What do you think of our decorated donut? Let us know. All right, we've got some Silver Silk pipe chain. So what is pipe chain for folks who might not know?
This is a silicone tube. So you can put things like beading wire or craft wire or something through there. And then it's got a little knitted jacket.
Yeah.
Its little coat. It's dressed up fancy.
Yes.
It's just some really fine gauge wire. I think it's like 36 gauge, 32 gauge, something.
Yeah.
Something really tiny.
Yeah.
It's made by Silver Silk and More. And there are so many different color combinations that you can get with the tubing and the colored wire on the outside of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun and a really versatile piece of things to work with. So
cool.
I'm going to be attaching it here and then doing a couple of scallops along the edges with some of the beads. So I'm trying to decide how long I want it to be. And I'm thinking about that long. That's about, let's see. That's about 4 inches. Something like that. And you can always cut it shorter if it's too long. But it's easy enough to cut just with some flush cutters.
Sorry.
Oh, hello.
Bad. There we go. I'm trying to make that one big. Try that again.
Right. All right. So this is where we're going to do a lot more crimping because I'm going to be making, let's see, how do I want this to loop? 2 separate loops. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to do 2 separate loops. All right. Thank you, guys. All right, so I'll start with a crimp. And this is something, too, that as long as your loop isn't too tight, you can move it around and adjust the position as much as you would like to. So I'm going to just put, I'm going to ignore this strand, get it out of the way a little bit. I'm just going to put that crimp down, go back through. I can.
Okay.
That is a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't want to be used.
Yeah, it's just.
It's being finicky.
It's not ready yet.
Nope.
It's okay. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, that one looks bigger too. Somehow, maybe that other one was like a little too small or something.
Yeah, it might have had too thick of a wall.
Yeah,
which can happen sometimes.
This is kind of like you're making a bale. Is what it
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So if it is, I can slide it. There we go. So I'm just moving that out of the way. Can you make it different shapes of donuts, like squares? Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you could. It could be. You could do the same type of stitch around with different shape. Cool.
All right. I'm just making sure that that loop is going to be big enough. Maybe I should keep it on here. In fact. Right there in the middle. It's just going to make it a little more awkward to crimp, but that's okay. It's about the middle. Right, I'm going to do the same thing with the other strand. I'm going from the front of the work around to the back when I'm doing my looping. And I want to be consistent when I do that for my other loops too. Front to back.
Yeah.
You can go back to front, but just be consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll probably help the wire lay nicely.
Mm-hmm.
I hope folks are getting inspired maybe for their weekend jewelry making plans. Whether you take the donut technique or this technique, there's a lot to play around with. Ooh, can you get your crimp in there? Your crimper? Oh, maybe.
Hold on. If I move that out of the way.
Oh, nice. I love this. This is kind of like a little bit of design on the fly here. Like, I know you have a vision, but like you're doing the engineering as we speak, figuring it out. I love that.
Okay. So the loops are big enough for it to work. For the other ones that I do, there's not going to be two crimps right next to each other. So I'm not going to have to do this again.
Yeah.
But when I put this on, these little knit bits of wire, they will catch a little bit on these loops. So I'm going to want to be gentle putting it in here through these loops. Maybe even use pliers to hold the wire since my fingernails aren't quite doing it.
So close.
I just had to take it off to do that crimping. There we go.
Okay. Nice.
And these little wires on the end, that's what these bead caps are for.
Yeah.
To finish that up and make it look nicer. I love this color of silver silk too. And it is such a great accompaniment to this blue.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
And something about like the gold wire on it just blends well with the faceting on the rondelles. Like it means they both shine well together.
Yes. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to do my little scallops by picking up 3 of these little drips.
Yeah, the little 4 millimeter drooks we had in the box.
4 millimeters.
They were clear crystal with a little pink accent in them.
Yeah, they're pretty and perfect.
Very sweet little beads.
3 of those, and let's see, let's do this yellow one first. A yellow flower. And then 3 more of these. I could do a dangle instead of these flowers.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm just going to do another little loop.
Yeah, it'll probably, that little, since it's a coin bead, it'll, it'll rotate. It'll flip around. Cool. Time for more.
That'll lay nicer once I've got the crimp on.
Yeah. I love that we get these bonus techniques. This is wonderful. let the creativity continue.
Right. And again, since I'm using this pink wire, you get these little pops of pink.
Yeah.
Next to the blue.
Nice. Lots of practice for the magical crimpers with this project.
Right. It would be lots of practice. It's crimp intensive.
Yes. Fun.
Right. One more with the blue flower bead. I'm going to crimp this one up over here. Oh, thank you, Ashley. And like, that's another thing about the 60s is there was flower power.
Oh, yeah. Lots of florals. You've even got them on your fingertips. It's amazing.
I do. A springtime.
They're so sweet.
I think it's about the same color of pink as these beads.
It really is. Perfect match.
Yeah. Because I'm close to the edge here, I made the loop first and now I'm putting it on here.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make that a little bit easier on myself.
And for folks who are just joining us, we are making with the April 2025 Sam's Bead Box. Our theme was the Sassy 60s, all about 1960s fashion. But our May box actually got shipped out this week, and today is the last day to subscribe for the May box. So if you want to join us, head on over to samsbeadbox.com, and then you'll get the May box, which I can promise will be totally different. We mix it up with a brand new theme every month. And then if you're watching this after our first day, you can get subscribed anytime because there's always another box coming with a brand new idea. So I hope folks will check that out. Someone already got their May box today. That is fabulous.
That's really great.
I think they live pretty close to us in Northern California, so that helps. Versus people who need to get it shipped to Florida or all the way, to Europe. Like, yes, it'll take a little bit longer, but they are out the door.
All right, so I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side.
Sounds good.
So that I've got my little focal going.
So yeah, we got the first batch of the May box out, so folks are going to start to receive it over the weekend, throughout next week. But if you subscribe today, we will make sure that it gets shipped out on Monday. We'll look for anything that comes in.
I can't wait for the May box. It's going to be fun. Yeah. It's always fun.
I'm so happy. I'm glad.
Like I don't think I've ever been disappointed by Sam's Bead Box.
Thank you. I mean, literally, like, what was I working on? Oh yeah, part of my day today, we work several months in advance because we need to buy custom beads. We need to place orders. We have to process and bag all the beads. There's a lot of steps. So right now I'm working on our boxes for December of this year and January of 2026. That's I'm planning things out for next year, and we're only in May. It's wild. So I'm always thinking about so many different months at the same time. So I have a lot of secrets. So that means I know what every theme is for the rest of the year, but that's just going to stay right here.
Loose lips, she thinks ships. That's the way it works. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sharing anything today. Cool.
I love that my idea is working.
Wait, you don't think it's working?
I said I love that my idea is working.
Oh, yes. I was like, it definitely is. It is so cool. And then give us a little hint of what's to come. How will this connect to the rest of it?
Oh, well, I'm going to grab the craft wire.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just getting antsy. I want to know.
After we get this last scallop done.
Cool. One more
grab the craft wire. We're going to make some loops on the end. And then we're going to get our chain connected.
Cool. Anita got her Bead Box. Oh, fabulous. All right. Please help us keep the secrets. I mean, you haven't gotten yours yet, probably, because it's got to make its way to Texas. So
it does. I might be in Dallas.
Okay, it might be close. So hopefully it'll come by Monday. Good.
It'll get here by Monday.
Nice.
So I'll start getting some ideas for things to make with it.
So yeah, if your May box is coming soon, that means you got to make with your April box this weekend. If you've been putting it off, make a project with the April box, so you know that you've started something there before the next one comes. That's my challenge to you all. Give that a try.
That's a really good idea. Sometimes I can't ever find the bead holes.
Oh yeah.
It's not like there isn't a bead hole.
You're like, I think there must be, right? Otherwise, this is not a bead.
Right?
Just a ball of glass.
A teeny tiny marble.
Yes, basically, yeah. But you're like, okay, it came on a strand, so I know it had to have a hole at one point. But sometimes I have to tell myself that, because it's like, oh my gosh, does this have a hole? I don't know if it does.
That's right at the end, so I'm gonna just slip that loop on after I make it.
This is almost giving me like tiara vibes, like feels almost like a headpiece.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you want the donut there, but like the scallops at least. Go big, go bold. That feels flower power. That feels a little hippie, right? That's bold. Yeah.
Here we go. And these are movable, so you can adjust the spacing if you need to. Because they're just looped around, they're not going through anything.
Someone was asking if I use the magical crimpers at all, and I actually do like to use them. I use both. I use magical crimpers and regular crimpers, honestly, whichever one is close by at the moment. For me, the biggest thing with the magical crimpers is like after you do the first two, it helped for me to be like gentle as I did the rest of them, to kind of just do like lighter, like I'd rather do like a lot of lighter presses around, but because I found if I just like kept smashing it, it just got wonky and like got hit. Somehow I would like sort of bend the wrong place. So I don't know. For me, it was all about just the first two, I was a little more strong with it. The first two kind of like presses, but after that, I'd go a little softer. So that was kind of for me the turning point where I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. I like this. So
it doesn't need like to be super manhandled.
No, I think people think it does because they're like worried about it, but I actually found being gentle was helpful.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to cut off a piece of 20 gauge wire that is longer than this strand.
Okay.
And I'm going to give myself, let's see, about 2 inches on either side. So make sure we're auto-focusing. There we go. I'm just going to straighten this out real quick with my fingers. And I'm going to make a loop on one side. And this one's going to be a wrapped loop. The only wrapped loop that I'm using. I'm going to use my round nose pliers and bend my wire back away from me. and then push the end of this wire up over the top, rotate my pliers, and push it across.
Fabulous.
And you can either use your fingers or another pair of pliers to do a little wrap to push this wire around that neck. And then snip off the excess. But now that I've got this on that end, I can start stringing my little end cap first. I'm going to put the rounded end toward the loop. It's like a bead cap.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a very long tube bead.
Yeah, pipe chain is basically a bead that you get to cut to any length.
Exactly.
Cool.
It's a flexible bead.
Yeah.
And I'm going to slide this on through. Make sure the end fits into that cap. And then put on my other cap. Yeah, Kelly, if you just try being gentle with it, and it might work better for you.
Yeah, for the magic crimper.
All right. And now that I've got that all strung on, I can come over here to the other side and do a wrapped loop. I'm just checking my orientation.
Yeah, do you need to give it a bend a little bit, or?
Yep. I'm just going to bend over the top. So I've got some room here for wrapping. See the room there.
Yeah.
And then do the same loop where I push it over the top. Rotate my pliers around. And that's just so that there's space under here. So you can move that without it catching anything or getting in the way. And then again, another set of pliers or your fingers. I just don't want to go looking for another set of pliers.
You're like, my fingers do the job. It's our natural tools. You don't have to buy those.
Exactly. Which side is front, which one's back? Right. That's just so that I know how far to wrap this.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that I've got this part done, I'm going to give this a little bit of a smile right there. Because it will naturally pull down as you wear it. It's just gravity. You're wearing a big stone around your neck.
Yeah, true. Oh, it's so elegant.
If I guide it, then we go.
Yeah.
All right, so
we're not done
the
yet.
beaded chain. Because we're not done yet.
No, we're not. More decorations to add.
I already made one end of my beaded chain.
Nice.
So let's put this one together. And I'm just going to show you how I do some simple loops.
Perfect.
One of the ways that I make simple loops easier on me are with these one-step loopers.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it with the round nose pliers too.
Okay. We'll see it both ways. Wonderful.
Yep. And again, I like to get this straightened out. And when I use the one-step loopers, I only do the first loop with this. The second loop I do with my round nose pliers.
Oh, okay.
So you put it in here, in this little bit here. You want to make sure it overhangs this side because that's the cutter.
Mm-hmm.
So it cuts it, it bends it, and it does a little bend back. Well, it just gives you a nice little loop. And I like to give it a little smush with my pliers to work harden it.
Mm.
And then I usually will work off the spool because then I'll use my finger to measure how much wire to cut off for the rest of it. Nice. Instead of having to estimate like a 2-inch piece or a 3-inch piece or how much wire. It helps me be a little more conservative with my wire usage.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I've got my loop here, I will bend this wire with my finger. You can also do it with pliers if you have stiff fingers or your wire is too stiff. You can always use pliers for that. And I know from experience right here, the side of my finger right here next to my fingernail, that's 1 centimeter. So I don't have to measure it.
Yeah.
But you can measure it if you want.
Okay. The 1 centimeter is your recommendation.
1 centimeter is about 1/4 of an inch. And then I'll snip off that little excess bit. And roll this up with my round nose pliers. Let me see the other side.
Nice.
And just like the first one, I'll give this a little smush. Maybe close it up if it's not closed all the way. And I've got my little link.
Nice.
And then to do it without the one-step looper, on this one, instead of bending first, I'll usually do the loop first. So I put it right there between the, actually that needs to be flush cut. It's not. There we go. And I like to do it about 1/3 of the way down the barrel from the narrow end. And you just bend the wire around like that. And then I'll swing these wires down to right below and then just press it to give it a little autofocus, friend. Let's get it closer. Sorry about that. There we go. And I forgot to put the bead on. So that's about where I want to cut that one. And then the last loop is going to be basically the same. So let me just finish these two. And then we can put them together. And I also forgot to get a clasp. So maybe I'll make a clasp with y'all real quick.
Cool. Ooh, with a bead on it.
Yeah. One of these little guys. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So I'm just going a little faster. Let's see my low. All right. Clasp, I'm going to just do a figure 8 loop for one side and then a hook on the other. And the one-step loopers are really easy to do a figure 8 loop on because you do one loop, but you don't bend it. So it's facing in one direction. And then you flip it around like this and have that loop facing down towards the handle and close it up. Now I've got a little figure 8 loop.
So tiny.
It's so tiny. Yeah, it'll work.
Yeah.
Or I can do a larger loop.
Either way.
Using one of these. I'm going to go further down my barrel, about 2/3 instead of 1/3 of the way. And do a loop there. And then just on the same part here,
Oh.
Start bending back around the other way.
Oh, do you mind? I think you're off screen a little bit there. There you go.
There we go. I'm back. And for that, where it meets there, it's going to do a little snip. And you can use a bench block and hammer to work hard in a loop like this. Or I like to just give a smoosh with my pliers. There we go. So that'll be part of that. Now let's do little hook. No, I don't like that. I was playing around. Let's do it the official way. I'm going to make a teeny tiny loop right at the very end of that. And then bend this back this way, but not go all the way around. And then right here, I'm going to add my little bead. Bend that back so that it doesn't slide over the hook. And then do a simple loop here by holding on to the hook and the bead and then bending this wire against it. And measuring off what I need for a simple loop. And getting that back on there. And once more, giving it a smushy smush.
The fancy terms here.
Right? The official term.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Okay. And I got a little hook.
Nice.
Okay. Now the rest of this is going to be opening and closing jump, or not really jump rings.
The simple loops.
I think I want the yellow side first.
Cool.
And I did a little bead order when I did this.
Okay.
So starting with the yellow, and then pink, and then blue.
Okay, that's your pattern there.
Pink, blue. Come on, yellow, pink, blue. There we go. I'm moving these guys out of the way.
Making these beaded chains is a great way to incorporate a lot of different beads from the box.
Yes.
You can do stuff that's similar size like this, but you can also grab beads that are different sizes. So if you're just trying to get started with making, like, just start making a bunch of simple loop links, make a beaded chain, because you can always start with there and you can make the focal last. I think sometimes people think they have to figure out the center of their necklace first, but you can also just be like, okay, I just want to get into the creative groove. Let me make a simple loop, a chain of simple loops using a bunch of my favorite beads from the box. And maybe you just take one of the focals that's already made from the box as your center. Maybe you just end up having no focal. That works too. So I think it's one of the things like stretch bracelets. It's kind of in beaded chain. Those are some of those good, especially just when you're trying to get started. I think that's a nice place to start.
Yeah. And I'm just real quick. This is how you connect it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
Is you just take the loop and you swing it open to the side like that.
Mm-hmm.
Put your next chain on, or your next link, and then swing it closed. And it's all connected.
Yeah.
But one thing I like about beaded chain is that you can just do kind of repetitive motions with it. So you're just making the links, and you can do other things with it once you get it down how to make the loops.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, like I was saying, my mom would incorporate us in like piecework things, and
yeah,
I have a very hard time watching something on television or listening to an audiobook and not doing something with my hands.
Yeah. She taught you.
So
you can always be mending. You can always be making.
Exactly. And beaded chain is a really great activity for that.
Yeah.
Because it's
get into a
something
rhythm.
You can get into a rhythm with it. Get some of that like Zen, like being at one with the beads.
Yes. You get to use some of your favorite beads. Oh, it's great.
Exactly. So I did do that be ahead of time so that we're not doing it for the entire class.
That's good. I know. I'm excited to see the final piece all put together. It has so many fabulous elements.
Almost done.
Yeah. Oh, I can tell. I can see it. Will you model it for us? Will you wear it?
Yes.
Awesome.
Absolutely will.
I know. It's like, it's one thing to see it on the mat, but it's just so nice. And you're just like, okay, that's how the proportions look. Like, gotta see it modeled.
Yep. All right. So the question is, do I have these in that order be symmetrical? Or do I flip one of these around and have them in a different and opposite order?
Oh, I love both of them. What's calling to you?
I don't know. Chat, what do you guys think?
Would you go symmetrical to keep the pattern the same? So you got that yellow flower there at the front? Or do you like that? Oh, I kind of like it flipped around. But I think I go for asymmetry a lot.
And the thing is, like, if I had done this with the colors reversed, I might lean way more towards it that way.
But then, yeah, I see what you're saying. You kind of want to keep, because now you have like two blues next to each other. I see that.
It's true.
Let's see. Kelly says asymmetrical. Barbara says symmetrical. We're getting both votes.
So we've got one of each. Jenny, I think you can handle asymmetry. You can do it. I believe in you.
I feel like some people are just drawn to symmetry. Some are drawn to asymmetry, and it's always hard to break the pattern, to break what you're used to.
Sometimes it's really challenging for me. And so, like, if it's the same beads but in a different order, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah. Okay, I think
I'm getting more symmetrical side.
Yeah, I think that's slightly more votes. I think people like the idea that like that's what you did in the front, so you got to keep it going.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to open this up. Same way I did before. And just link it onto that loop that I made earlier. Sorry, I'm losing my pliers. And then do the same thing on the other side. Then all I have to do is attach a clasp.
Yeah.
We'll be ready to rock and roll.
Oh, yeah.
Get our groove on.
Yes, let's get the Beatles pumping. Time to dance.
All right, and so it doesn't matter which of these loops I open. I'll be connecting it to the other bit. For that clasp and for this one.
Voila. Look at her. Look at this necklace. Wow, that is beautiful.
All right, I'm going to take off the necklace I'm wearing.
Oh, yeah, then you can show us that one too.
Which was also a sassy 60's.
Oh, yeah, that's a sassy design. So cool.
This is one that I used those seed beads with.
Is this where can folks find this on your channel? Do you have a tutorial for this?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I do have a tutorial. And for that one, I brick stitched these
the
beads
diamond links.
The seed beads on there. And then we brick stitched them inside of here too.
Oh, that is glorious. Wow, that's awesome. God, you have so many ideas.
Let's put this on, see how it looks.
Let's do it. Show us.
Ready to see?
Oh my God, with the hair, it's the full look. It's amazing. That is great. Oh, that fits perfectly. That is wonderful.
I'm losing my my earbud.
Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Everyone, there. Look at that. The final design. You've got amazing focal, the scallops, the beaded chain. Oh my God, you are like, you got to go out tonight. Like, you are ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready for my Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh man, this is
folks
beautiful.
Are loving it in the comments. Yeah, this is spectacular. So many cool
This is
ideas.
so much fun. I will send a completed photo of this. I'll post it in the Facebook group, the Gem Chat Facebook group.
Yeah, please do, because I know everyone wants to look at it in detail. That is you rock. That rocks. That's awesome.
Oh, you guys.
I hope you guys have enjoyed so many different techniques and ideas to get the creative juices flowing this weekend. I know I do. This has given me some ideas. I'll have to see where it takes me. Oh, thank you, Beki. Thanks for doing this together.
Thank you for having me on. And thank you to everyone in chat for playing along with us, for helping us make some decisions.
Yeah, we love it. We love getting to chat with you guys live. But if you're watching the replay, please say hello in the comments. Let us know you watched. We'll reply later. We'd love to know. So, all right. Well, we got to wrap up here and start the weekend. So thank you, everybody. And thanks, Beki. Talk to you all later.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.